Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And yes, and based on this title alone, I'm sure some people will laugh at me or whatever. But I'm sorry though, but I'm I'm just one of the few that enjoy this film, had fun with. I know, like, pretty much, like, I would say about 98% of people that hate this movie to death or whatever, it's considered one of the worst films of all time. One of the worst films of all time. Everybody hates the movie. But I'm sorry but I'm one of the few that enjoys the film. And yes, and from the title, this film, I am defending Howard the Duck. Yes. I'm sure people will get pissed at me for it though, but I know with everyone that think the film is not their cup of tea, whatever. It's one of the worst films of all time. It's been listed. But I enjoy this film, and that's all there is to it for me. That's the bottom line. Yes, so Howard the Duck, yes, and this is like one of the first Marvel films to be released in theaters, and I'm just thinking that for all the comic book films, well, for the Marvel films, and I just gotta say that it probably wasn't for, well, probably because the film flopped and everything though, but I obviously get say that some say that if it were for some of the Marvel films, that it would be for this film to get re-released in theaters or made for future Marvel films. But Howard the Duck. Now, for as anyone does know, Howard the Duck is like an obscure Marvel comic book character, and it's a duck from outer space. That's what he is. He's a duck who smokes cigars. In the comic, he has a blue suit and the blue hat. Fighting off these ridiculous, loony villains, and along with his human friend named Beverly. And how in the tagline for his series in the comics, trapped in a world he never made. And the film stars Lea Thompson, Jeffrey Jones, and Tim Robbins, young Tim Robbins, and probably okay. We'll first off give a little things. Now, probably a lot of people are not fans of this comic book character, but I am, and just to show it. Yeah, there's a little something from my comic book collection I have right here. Right here. Get into it. Here's I have the very first appearance of Howard the Duck. Venture into Fear with the Man-Thing number 19. This is the very first appearance of Howard the Duck. And from what I have right here is when he got his own standalone series. So Howard the Duck number 1, guest starring Spider-Man. So yeah. So we're working all the way up to number 2. Well, I don't want to show all of it though, but it's a few here. Number 3, Master of Quack Fu. Yeah, that's one of the things in the film that feels laughable. Oh, no one messes with a Master of Quack Fu. Yeah, that's where it is from, in the comics. Master of Quack Fu. Yeah. And etc. like where one of the appearances where getting it to even guest appearances from getting from 12 and 13, where you get guest appearances by Kiss. Yeah, the famous rock band Kiss. They appear in these. So yeah, just to show, and even want to point the return of we've come twice along with the Man Thing as well. Yeah, Man Thing. So yeah, I got the whole complete series of Howard the Duck. Including his first appearance. So, once more, just showing off. So yeah, I enjoy the character. So as much as people think it's ridiculous as it sounds, but when they wanted to make a film directed by Willard Huyck and produced by Gloria Katz and executive producer by George Lucas, because now the whole thing with with George Lucas, because which I know nowadays but I guess he does not even look at the film anymore. He hates it, but they figure because if he put his name on it because with Star Wars and everything and Indiana Jones and even help working on, if he put his name on this of a Marvel comic book character, I think it's gonna be a big hit, but people already just don't know because you have a name like Howard the Duck, it's obviously won't. It's gonna sound absolutely ridiculous. And they go, why is George Lucas involved in this? And just, but I'm just trying to see what other things because I want to try to get to why the whole understanding of it but I guess that he wanted to work with Willard. He wanted to work with Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz because I guess they have tended to work with the other on American Graffiti and Steve Gerber, who the creator of Howard the Duck, and says and describes who described the series as very funny and praising its elements of film noir and absurdism, and instead, of course, the Universal Studios they had the partnership with with Marvel, I guess, because I think for the time even now Universal, I guess racing with Namor, I guess they couldn't get into the Marvel universe because he was owned by Universal, so I guess that's a point that Universal Studios still have some of the rights of some of the Marvel comic book characters. And so they said, well, I'm sure I'm not gonna get the whole thing though, but yeah, they want to get George Lucas' hands because because since he was involved with the Star Wars and the Indiana Jones, thought this would be a big hit. He put his name on it though, and obviously it didn't because the film was torn apart by everybody, including critics and other people. And the film didn't do that well. It made $16 million domestically and worldwide. I guess worldwide enough to bring it back its budget though, but it was nominated for so many Razzies, and it won some. Considered one of the worst movies of all time. And I'm sorry, I completely disagree with it because everybody hates all the things that's in the film. But yeah, even probably Tim Robbins. I guess he doesn't want anything to do with this though. But I guess it was one of his earlier films. Because back in '86 though. But sorry, but I disagree. But I thought the cast was fun to watch. Like Lea Thompson, Jeffrey Jones, and yes, I know, but Jeffrey Jones I would have probably explained this before when I did my review of Sleepy Hollow, because he was in the film as well. I know about the whole thing with the child pornography and all that stuff. He was a convicted pedophile, I guess. Well, not I guess. It's supposed to be fact, though, but... Throw all that aside, though, like Jeffrey Jones, like he was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and... Which is the same year as this film, so probably that film was released before this, though. And his role in Sleepy Hollow as well. And Tim Robbins, and voiced by Chip Zing and Ed Gale portraying as Howard. And of course, there was all things that they want to get all the which they tended to make this film like animated and stuff, though, like make an animated film. But of course, people think that would be a better idea to make an animated film instead of a live action film. But I just like I know because it would have been different seeing if it was an animated film, but I was fine with making a live action. And all the stuff they would do with the want to make an animatronic duck, though, but instead they went with the suit. And I thought the suit, however, the duck suit, I thought it looked pretty good, very, very good, I would say. It's like it's like it was basically the same thing. In Congo, the people complained that the gorilla suits, they're horrible, which they wanted to make them animated and stuff like that, but especially it was made by Stan Winston, they got criticized for that. It's basically the same thing with this. I thought the duck suit was very well made, and they of course all the numerous people they tried to put in for play as Howard the Duck, though, but mostly it was Ed Gale was the one mostly did the thing, but there was other people working in the suit as well. And I think also at one point there was like they got a boy, like a young boy, to play in the suit as well, but I guess it didn't work out because I guess he was claustrophobic and overall didn't work well with all the things that was in working with the film. I think it was like for a few days or something like that, but he was a young boy though, but so all the other people though, but mostly Ed Gale. And I thought, for the most part, everyone played their part. Well, for the most people, I give credit to some of the people who helped play as Howard the Duck, though. But mostly Ed Gale, I thought he did a great job, mostly playing as in the suit, though. And the voice by Chip Zing, I thought was also very well. Yeah, I thought he did a good job as the voice of Howard the Duck as well. And for the cast, like Lea Thompson, Tim Robbins, Jeffrey Jones, that they all did a good job in the film as well. And I thought the not only that the actors were good and the directing by Willard Huyck, and yes, I'll even say George Lucas was good. Did good work and help make the film as well. Even though he hates it as well, but I'm sorry. I would say his involvement with this film is better than the Star Wars prequels that he directed. I'm sure people will get pissed at me for that, but it's my opinion. I'm not wrong for my opinion. But and the score, I thought the score for this film, I thought was somewhat, I guess, how some of the films of today, some like scores are just generic or just boring. Although there are some films that I do enjoy the scores too, but for the film that made back in the day, how the score and the songs were in the film, I thought it was very well, and I thought I would say somewhat memorable, I would say, to me. Maybe weird for me to say though, but I thought the songs and the score, I thought was like put together, I thought it was like memorable. But people will completely disagree with me though. And for those, really quick, this is also a special edition. It has like some good, I would say, it has some good features. It has a look at Howard the Duck. There's the features like cast and crew reflect on making of the film, including groundbreaking special effects, releasing the duck, explore the public's initial reaction to the film and its transformation to a cultural phenomenon, and archival featurettes has the news featurettes, the stunts of Howard the Duck, the special effects of Howard the Duck, the music of Howard the Duck, and teaser trailers. And plus also, and since it's also filmed, even though it's been It's been bashed by critics over the years, and so has other people as well. And it does have eventually has gained a cult following among the fans of the comic books series, like me. Like me, I'm a fan of the comic book series, and I do enjoy this film, so I get to see why the cult following to it. I mean, a lot of bad films have gained cult followings that gets like praised on later on the years, but and speaking of like how the featurettes had some good featurettes, you know. But I'm sure that even like Tim Robbins, I'm sure now even George Lucas, they both don't like the film as well though. But I think it was that Lea Thompson. I think she had fun. I think she said that she had fun with the film as well. And I can see that because I thought Lea Thompson looked like she was having fun, and so was Tim Robbins and Jeffrey Jones. And even like Lea Thompson, you know, like working with this working in this band called Cherry Bomb. I believe is also a real life band called Cherry Bomb as well. I do believe. And they were doing all the actual singing, the songs. I thought like Lea Thompson, I thought she was really good in the film, really good, especially very good looking as well in the film as well. So yeah, I would definitely say that Lea Thompson is definitely good looking. Because I like Lea Thompson as an actress, you know, Back to the Future, and among other films like All the Right Moves, even her first film Jaws 3D, Dennis the Menace. So I like Lea Thompson as an actress, and I definitely was a very look like she was having fun in the film, and like all the features like how her and the other girls, you know, learning to play the instruments and singing. Because I think that at one point that they're gonna have when they're singing, they're gonna have their voices dubbed without other people singing. That would have been horrible. It's like, oh, I mean, come on, dubbing while singing, that would not work at all. And plus, I thought that she was perfectly fine singing. I thought she was not horrible singing. I thought she had a good voice to when she was singing as well. I thought she played the guitar fine, especially she could sing fine as well. And the original songs produced by Thomas Dolby helped create the songs. But the songs I thought was the songs, the soundtrack, and the score I really do enjoy. Like the songs, the soundtrack. That's in the film, like when Howard lands in Cleveland, Ohio, which is also in the comics. He lands in Cleveland, Ohio. Like, well, you have Lea Thompson singing a song by, you know, Hunger City. Until you in Hunger City, and I like that. I like the song. So I do like a lot of the songs in the film, like Hunger City and the song playing at the end, Howard the Duck, of course. Don't Turn Away. Which is like one will like well that song was playing, then another point where Lea Thompson was singing that song. So yeah, I enjoy the soundtrack and I enjoy the score. Like when the opening of the film, Howard the Duck in his home planet, Duck World, which is a lot like Earth, except the people are ducks. You know that subtle score, like yeah, I can't try to do the score. It's like a very like in a saxophone kind of like da 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 when he gets to his apartment. That subtle score, and I thought some of the things that like those thought they threw in was funny. Like they parodied Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark called Breeders of the Lost Ark. How it was made, because everything is like resembles ducks, right? And I thought that was kind of funny. Actually, I would not mind having that poster. To be honest, I thought that was kind of a cool looking poster. And you know, like how he's of course he's smoking his smoking cigars like he was in the comics. So smoking cigars. Like how he's watching TV, these commercials, like he's finding bored too, like of a commercial for a foot regarding itchy feet, whatever, or a soap opera, or like a little salesman, oh, I'm like like slashing prices. My prices are insane. and it like has looking at a Playboy magazine. It's called like Play Duck. And yes, which some people probably think don't even like is the humor and the jokes they throw in the film. Yes. And plus, yeah, you probably say this film is very PG, but they throw in a lot of adult jokes in the film, which yeah, I could definitely see why people say, oh, this should be rated PG-13 if it's not PG, because kids shouldn't watch this because there are all the adult jokes in it, like the Playboy and this and that, and when Howard the Duck is just sitting in his chair and he gets dragged through breaking through the walls of people's apartments, and yes, people think it's ridiculous, when there's a female duck in the bath, and you still see duck tits. Yes. Probably people think a lot of people say, oh, look at that duck tits. That's probably one thing. If you'll mention this film, they mention that scene right there. And I'm sorry, sorry, but I've seen a lot much more ridiculous ideas in films. Okay, I've seen much more things that are much more childish than that. I mean, can we compare it to some of the comic book films? Let's see. What comic book films do I say that it's better? This film is better than? Oh, recently. Here's a good example. Batman and Robin. I just reviewed that rant. You can check that out. I could definitely say this is a lot better than Batman and Robin. Like I said, Batman and Robin is more of is a kids film. This here is it's a PG film, but it's more like an adult film. Even though it's aimed for a younger audience as well. But I think some of the jokes I think is much more funnier than Batman and Robin. Yeah, I'd rather take the idea. Some of the jokes some of the dumb jokes that people don't like in this film, I'd rather take over than some of the dumb humor in Batman and Robin. Oh, especially with seeing the Batman suits, seeing bad nipples and the cod pieces and ass cheeks, or with Batman credit cards, or even Arnold's over the top ice puns, and just the horrible acting. And yeah, I definitely that's a good example. People that film got a lot of the controversy, while this film got controversy. I'd rather take this stuff over than Batman and Robin any day. Even some of the comic book films I would probably say is better than. One of the ones I could say other ones I did not like that I could say this film was better than. Let's see. Yeah, I said Batman and Robin. I would probably even say maybe Blade Trinity. Or yeah, even Catwoman, the shitty one with Halle Berry. Yeah, I say that this is definitely much better than Catwoman. Or what other ones that, well, it's mostly, I can't think of any other one on the top of my head, though, so. But I'm sure there's a lot more, though, but I just can't think of any on the top of my head. I've just mentioned a few. But yeah, definitely better than Batman and Robin, definitely better than Catwoman. Which both those films ironically are also considered one of the worst films of all time as well. Out of those three, this is definitely a lot better. But I'm sure that people will disagree with me, but it's all a matter of opinion. So yeah, he's in his chair, he's getting dragged through after reading his play duck, and he's dragged breaking through the buildings, and yes, you see the female duck with the duck tits. I know, I think it's a lot. I've seen a lot of recent other films with a lot more stupider ideas. Like, oh, okay, this is another one. This is probably another random one, though, but the idea, I'll just say it, because I don't care. It's my review, I can say whatever I want. Like, Pixels. Yeah, the idea is some of the dumb stuff with Pixels. Like the ending of, with Q-Birds, transforming to, like, female character one that Josh Gad likes, and he's kissing the girl, which is actually Q-Bird. So Josh Gad's really kissing Q-Bird, and have the end have little baby Q-Birds. Which I think is still creepy and like weird, and that's that idea. It's basically him kissing Q-Bird with little babies, and that's. I don't know why I'm just thinking that, because I thought that was another dumb idea that from last year I thought was completely stupid. Or perhaps even some of the humor in recent and Adam Sandler's recent films, I think, is not as funny as the stuff within this film. I would say some of this film is definitely some of Adam Sandler's recent comedy films, like Pixels or Blended or That's My Boy, or some of the stupid crap he's been doing recently. Definitely say Howard the Duck's better than any of those. As I'm saying, some of these films nowadays have much more stupid humor, and people are criticizing this film back in the day. Why don't you look at some of the dumb humor that's of today? Yeah, the today's humor ain't that much better than the stuff that this film did back in '86. I'm sorry. That's why I'm defending this film, because I don't think it's not as bad as everyone thinks it is nowadays. But still, I'm still one of the few that likes this film. Maybe one hand. To me, a handful of people that think that this film was good. Sorry. But anyway, yeah. I just want to clearly say all this, because I'm just thinking, because it's not as bad as people think it is. Even with some of the dumb things they put in this film. But yeah, he gets dragged through space, and you have this narrator, and you have the title, how it comes to gives us this square, probably you say I don't know, it kind of looks like a mirror though, but it's not though, and it explodes with the title, Howard the Duck. And he's dragged through space, and he lands on Earth in Cleveland, and when he gets there, he lands in his chair, and he gets by a few of these punks. He gets taken, this comes like this guy. Oh hey, I forget what this guy's name. I found you another date, and this guy throws him, and as he gets there, of course, the only thing is he's on Earth. He's on a new planet. He doesn't know what's going on, or who are these creatures, as people as well to him, because he'd never seen this kind of beings before, so he doesn't know what's going on, and there's a couple that kissing, and he's like, oh hey, what is that thing? Or another one before, he's getting tossed out, he lands in this homeless woman's car. It's like, get off. But basically, he's getting scared all around, because he doesn't know what's going on. He just landed in this new place, and he's seeing all these people he thinks is very terrifying. And he lands where this biker gang, whose name is Satan's Sluts. Yeah, you can see right off the bat, there was already some adult humor at the beginning of this film. People think that, oh, this is so dumb and childish. And while this is going on, you get that song that Lea Thompson is singing, Hunger City, and I really do like that song. I think it's a really good song. Hunger City, dun dun. So then he lands in this barrel, and says, talk about a rotten day. And Lea Thompson, she's done with her whole gig, and these two guys trying to mug her. Howard is like, all right, no more Mr. Nice Duck. And yeah, I'm sure people think that another one people don't like is all the unfunny dialogue in the film, which I understand why they're unfunny, but I thought it was kind of funny. But that's just me though. No more Mr. Nice Duck, or no mess, and they're like, what is that? It's a talking duck. And no, you don't mess with Master of Quack Fu, and he helps Lea Thompson beat the guys up, and they run off. And he's asking, where am I? What planet am I on? And Lea Thompson as Beverly. And he asks her, do you want to come to her place? And that song playing. That's also, which is another good song, and then later, Lea Thompson sings. And she gets to her apartment, and it's like, oh, I'll give a bully one milk, you can have him from a bowl, and he's like, doll, I don't drink out of bowls. You got a beer? Beer? Right, beer. And then he has this duck purse, like, wah. He's like, what is this? Oh, it's a purse. And he's like, oh. And he gets a beer. He's like, oh, big brewski. and then they have this little thing where they're talking about what he did, what he has done. He's like how he went to med school, and he's like doing big jaws tail tucks, and then. And they said they talk about he's here for she's saying how that Lea Thompson saying hey, maybe that's why you're here, I'm probably here for some major opportunity or cosmic cause. And so he's like, I have no intention of being stranded here, I gotta get back somehow. And as he passes out, yeah, probably another thing that as Lea Thompson he goes through his wallet, with all these things resembling like credit cards, that's like from Earth, but it's like everything's like in duck something or whatever. Or he has like the $1 bills that like George Washington with duck beak. And yes, then when she went also in his wallet, when Lea Thompson finds he has a condom. Yeah, he's like, Howard. Yeah, probably think that's another thing, with the adult humor, but it's not the humor in this film was not as bad as some of the stuff we have today. And so the next day, Lea Thompson puts him in a bag because he doesn't want to be seen in public, for everybody. So he takes him to this museum where he meets with a young Tim Robbins as Phil, where things think that he has answers, and I thought it was kind of funny where, as he sees the duck, his reaction, he's like, and he goes to this meeting, he's like, I discovered something. It's, I finally found something. I discovered something. And then he's about to say what it is, and these other people just look at him like he's crazy. He's like, "It's nothing. It's nothing." I'm sorry. I thought Tim Robbins was funny in this film. Even though he says he probably thinks it's probably the worst film he's ever done, probably. But I disagree. I thought he was really funny. I thought he was fun in the film. So and he's trying to talk, like try to speak like a dog. Best friends, trying to speak like a dog. And can you burn a hole through this piece of wood, or tell me what I'm thinking of. What is it like in the future or whatever. Do you have psychic powers? And then Howard's like, yes, I'll try. Yes, I see. It's like, I see him with a wacko. He's a yo-yo, and I see myself walking out the door. And then to the point where they go to the museum, they have this the evolution chart, and it's like I was like, you see the evolution? It's like, you're all a bunch of hairless apes. That's disgusting. Like I said, the humor I thought was not as bad as everybody thinks it is. And then they found that Tim Robbins is a janitor, but they think he's not gonna be able to use. So Howard is he's gonna leave and tells Beverly's like, I don't need any of your money, your charity or whatever, and just leave me alone. It's like, oh, okay, fine. I thought I was trying to help somebody, in need, whatever. He says, goodbye, ducky. Or in a part where there's like these little kids, and then the teacher is like, oh, that looks so real, and the kid's like, oh, that's not, it's real duck, and Howard Duck scares the kids like, back off, grrr. I just thought that was kind of funny as well. So he tries to apply for like a job. He goes to the employment office, talks to this lady, and so he works at this, try to get this job with this hot spa, and works with this guy who's like over the top acting, and basically Howard has enough with this guy, so he pushes this guy into this tub, and it's like, I quit. And he's trying to find his way in this world, and like he's on this bus, and he gets off. He's like, this guy's like, that's a duck, man. That is a duck. Or he's looking on the TVs, and he's like Daffy Duck, and getting hit, and talking with duck hunting season. He's like, duck hunting, he's like, he's really scared. He runs off, and he goes back to the club where Lea Thompson is at, and with her band playing, and her singing this slow song, which the song was playing earlier, but she's singing it, and then Howard sees the band's manager, Ginger, and talking with the two other guys he's talking to, and actually one of the guys he's talking to, the manager is talking to, is actually Richard Edson. He's actually one of the guy who plays one of the in Super Mario Brothers, the film with Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper, which I have to do a review of that film sometime. Yeah, he was one of the two idiots, Spike and Izzy. Izzy, I think it was the other guys. He's actually the guy Spike. He's he's a tall guy with a mustache. One of the two idiots. Yeah, that's actually him, and he's from Super Mario Brothers. He's actually have a small appearance in this film. Is really enough. And if you remember him, if you want to talk about, if you remember him in Super Mario Brothers, but I do. And Howard Duck's talking, how he wants to, no longer be the manager because he's cheating the girls out of their money, and the guy, the manager, slides Howard off of the bar, and then the guy Richard is like, hey, come on, give me your best shot, and he gives him a good punch, and the guy who the bartender, who gives Howard this big glass and hits another guy, and that's the guy who's a bartender is like this, that's actually the guy Thomas Dolby helps make the songs help make the songs for the film. Really enough, he's that bartender who gives Howard a glass bottle and hit, so he whacks one of the other guys. Yeah, and then the guy has him pinned, but he tries to stab, but the Howard dodges, gives him a kusai, kicks him in the head, and gets that ice pick and puts it right between the guy's earring. It's like, oh, no earring in the other ear? Here, I'll have to make it instead. So he forces the guy to give him the money and makes him quit being the manager. And it's like, oh, you heard of me of space rabies? One bite and instant death. It's probably people think so. It's probably dumb how the way I'm describing it though, but if you watch the film, you know what I'm talking about. But like I said, the humor is not as bad as people think it is. But I've seen a lot worse. And so he meets with the girls in their dressing room, and Tim Robbins comes in again. He comes in like, oh, wacka wow wow. And then as the girls are leaving, he gives them their money. And Tim Robbins leaves, he wants to take a sample, takes one of his feathers, because he's gonna make with a friend of his. And back at Beverly's place, he's playing with the electric piano, saying that he had a band in high school. And of course, another thing people probably don't care for is when they get in bed together. And like I said, I've seen a lot worse ideas, but they're in bed, and Lea Thompson shows how what the human does and in a sex relationship, and Howard's he's getting all nervous. He's like, oh, and you see this before, he sees his feathers on his head goes rise up, and he's like, whoops. And then you see the shadow of two of them. That Lea Thompson kisses the Howard, and you see from the shadow, in the trailer. And as Tim Robbins, Jeffrey Jones, and his other assistant guy is with them. And Howard's like, no, it's not. This is not what it seems. We're just two friendly friends. So Jeffrey Jones is plays Dr. Jennings. He's one of the lead scientists at this lab, and he explains how he came here. It's because he had this laser spectroscope that was supposed to measure the densities of the gases around their area of the planet. But until the laser malfunctioned, and it redirected the laser to his planet and dragged him all the way through space. That's how he got there. And in the lab, saw a single feather fell. So Howard wants him to take him back to the lab and hit the reverse button, sends him back home. So they agree to do that, and on their way there, and you get like you say probably go like a good a heartfelt moment where as they're riding towards the lab, Howard's talking with Beverly. He's like, you know what? Out of all the alleys that I've landed, why did it have to be you? Because part of me just doesn't want to leave because of you. So as they get there, you get this over the top guy, with this sort of a burned face, like, oh, it was an explosion. We should not be messing with the universe. And then because it shows there was another explosion. Jenny was caught in the explosion, and the guy forget what they got that character's name. He's talking with the other another lab person guy, and he's like, yeah, we brought Howard down the first time, but my God, what if we brought down something else this time? So the word they brought down something else, and the police come in, and the lead cop is in charge. There is actually played by Paul Guilfoyle. Mispronounced the name. He's the guy who plays Brass in the original CSI, and he was also in Air Force One. Yes, but yeah, you remember him from playing Brass from CSI Crime Scene Investigation. Yeah, he's actually had a small role in this film as well, So, and they think that the Howard is a person in a suit, and the cops like, get this freaking duck suit off, and they strip him, and it's like, and Howard's like, on my pal, you don't say die. It's like, not my shorts, you perverts! And the cop's like, sir, there's no zipper, there's no Velcro, sir. I think the person is inborn. I think he's for real. And of course, as they try to walk him out, of course they outsmart the cop very easily by dropping a cigar in the trash, and they take his gun. And as they're hiding, they throw the gun away because they go, the suspect is armed and dangerous. And then Jenny comes in. After being from the explosion, they get away in his car, and they say that Jenny's like, "Oh, there's something inside me," It's like sitting my internal organs, and Lea Thompson's like, "Oh, what'd you have for lunch?" And Jenny, Jeffrey Jones driving all over the road until they get this restaurant, and he gets taken over completely. He's like, "I'm dead." Yes, you are. So he's taken over by what is known as the Dark Overlord. So as they sit down in the diner, he's talking how the Dark Overlord, how he comes from the Nexus of Summonus, which is a region of demons, and he was pulled from the later Spectroscope as well, and he entered Jennings' body. And the flame where they bring in the dinner specials, and it has eggs, and Howard's like, "Whoa!" And it's like, what am I, into cannibalism or something? I'll give you a hint, doll. What's white? Ovoid. It always reminds me of my birthday. The eggs! Get them out of here! And then the Dark Overlord shows off his powers. Yeah, which I know people say probably the effects are not as great. Well, especially with the Overlord's powers, like it shows like it's from his eyes. He makes ketchup and mustard explode, and he has the code key to bring down to activate the laser to bring down the other Dark Overlords. And then some other guys come in, they give him a hard time, Nick Pickon. And probably people don't think, oh, well, they get to this Howard gets in this fight with the people there, like how he is throwing pies at people's faces, and then people are the people who just grab him, they tie him down, they're gonna cook him. And I've done another funny moment where Lea Thompson's like, "He's my boyfriend," and people are just looking at her like, and the guy's like, "That's disgusting." I just got another chuckle out of that one. So they timed out, they're gonna cook him, and then the the Dark Overlord, shows more of his powers, and like so the guy has a knife, and since the knife flying, he's controlling it. He's like, yeah, and makes the knife cut Howard loose, and right between the legs is like, oh, are you okay, Howard? Yes. So then they see the scare everybody off, and you got a lot of actual explosions, like and sparks. Like how the Overlord is showing him more of his powers, making everything explode. Actual explosions, practical, not CG. And that's what I give credit for. Like besides like the showing like how the Dark Overlord is showing his powers though, but other stuff got actual practical explosions and other good effects. Like I thought the like I said the duck suit was really well done, and other good explosions and stuff like that, and even the things how the CG effects with the Dark Overlord's powers. It's not as bad. It's not a bad effect as some effects nowadays, or mostly everything is CG. And now, like I said, there's some good practical effects and explosions, actual explosions, which I do appreciate. So, like how the Dark Overlord, he lifts Howard and spins him around and drops him, gets the code key, and takes Beverly hostage, and driving in this big truck, and he's like he needs energy, and another thing, like kind of like a gross thing, like where he has this tentacle coming out of his mouth to put in like in the cigarette where the cigarette lighter is to get more energy. And then Phil is arrested. And he sees Howard Duck, like Howard Duck's pretending to be one of those statues, like case statues, like Philzy, and tells him what's happening with Dr. Jennings and Beverly and all that, and they gets him out of the cop car, and they plan to escape in an airplane, and I thought it was a good car chase. The police are chasing him in the airplane. I thought it was a good car chase, like how, like what's the quote that Just want to look up some quotes here. What that Tim Robbins saying to Howard. Let's see here. What was this? Is it's when they're fun the plane, like Howard, in prehistoric time you flew, you trust your instincts, fly. It was like that line. I couldn't say what the exact line was, but it was like that type of dialogue. And as they land on top of this truck, and it's like, and the sign for duck hunting says like, oh, I'm flying blind. Shut up, you're not flying at all. And they throw it onto one cop car and blind them as they drive straight into a lake. And then the Howard's flying the plane low, scaring all the duck hunters, and like, death to the sky to all duck hunters. And while that's going on, the possessed Dr. Jennings, the Dark Overlord, goes to this power plant. He goes into this nuclear reactor to get more power. And I thought it was also good makeup effects as well. Was Dr. Jennings being possessed by the Dark Overlord, good looking face makeup effects. And as they drive along some more, they get there's like the stop where a line of cars, and this trooper stops like, yeah, let me see your license, Jack. I have no license, and my name's not Jack, and use the powers to zap that guy. And then more good actual practical explosions where the Overlord is using its eye power, eye beams, whatever, and makes a whole line of cars in front of the truck explode. Boom, boom, boom. And as the cops are shooting at the airplane, and like we're point where he does a loop-de-loop, and Tim Robbins is like upside down being dunked in the water. Pull up, Howard. And as they're flying some more, and there's this train that's coming, and they flies right between the openings of this boxcar, and lose the wings, and there's a go towards the end of the road where there's more of a pond. It's like, Filzy, I forgot to tell you, I can't swim. Never heard of a duck that can't swim. Shut up and save me. So as they get there back to the lab, they see the Dark Overlord has her Lea Thompson tied down. He's gonna bring another Dark Overlord to possess her, and they have an idea of how to stop him. Like, they have this I thought it was a cool looking weapon they called the Neutron Disintegrator. I thought it was like a cool looking weapon, and they put it on this cart, and it starts going out of control, and they see, and the Dark Overlord notices, and he was gonna use his powers again to zap him. Then Tim Robbins gets this like the satellite thing, and he deflects the power, whatever, and it's like his hair is all fried up, and he's like, Filzy, are you alright? Terrific, Howard. How do you get this thing to start? Try the seatbelt, Howard. So he gets the car to work, and he's like having like a standoff between him and the Dark Overlord, and he's charging towards him. It's like, so long, sucker, and the Dark Overlord's using all his powers, like, So be mad he uses the neutron disintegrator, zaps the Dark Overlord, but didn't kill him. He just said what he looks like really is out of Dr. Jennings. He's back to normal, but the Dark Overlord is still loose, and then you see the Dark Overlord in its true form. I thought it was kind of a cool looking design of this creature, and it's also good stop motion animation as well. People think that the creature looks horrible or the effects are horrible, but I beg to differ. Basically, I thought it was a good looking stop motion animation. I thought it was a cool looking design of the Dark Overlord. It's like, Howard, there is no escape. It's like, going somewhere, Howard, and uses one of those things like the tentacles, whatever, grabs him, and Dr. Jennings gives him like this saw instrument, and is like, okay, slice salami, lose something. And the Dark Overlord also zaps Lea Thompson and Tim Robbins, trying to make them disappear. And he also activates the laser spectroscope to bring more of his friends down in 4 minutes. So, and Howard gets back on the cart, and once again standoff, and the Dark Overlord, eat claw duck. And then eventually he destroys the Dark Overlord, destroys it, explodes. And then it's then close to its arrival, like more of the Dark Overlords are coming down, and he has to destroy the machine, but Lea Thompson's like, wait, you'll never get home. So he has and then Dark Shane's like, get him! So Howard makes a decision, destroy the machine. Goodbye, Duck World. So he uses the weapon to blow up the machine and sends the Dark Overlords back to where they came. And good actual explosion as the laser spectroscope is how it's been destroyed, explodes. Actually, good looking practical explosion. And they find Howard, which they think he's dead, and Beverly's like, oh, Howard, wherever you are, hope you're a lot happier. This world has treated you horrible, but you saved it. And he wakes up, I think he's like, I am not Howard. Tries to place a choke on them. He's like, ugh, all that smoke. It's murder on your sinuses. And he's like, Howard, and it's like, it's okay, Toots. That was another thing in the comics he calls Beverly, but he calls her Toots, I think, also as well. And then they have the ending, which I like. I think was actually the playing in front of a live audience. Playing the song that I do like. People think this is the song that earns a Razzie for worst song, whatever. Howard the Duck. I'm sorry, it's not the worst song that I've ever heard of. I thought it was actually a pretty catchy song. And Lea Thompson is singing the song. I thought she did really well singing the song. Like, get that plat on the phone. Ain't no time to waste. Tell him he ain't coming home. Now join the human race. They call him Howard the Duck. You know, Howard the Duck. Ain't no way you conceal it. And shot an arrow straight to my heart. I like that song. I do like the soundtrack that's in the film. Songs that Lea Thompson sings. I thought she sang very well. I don't think she was not horrible singing. Like, the part where they wanted to dub their singing voices, that would not work at all. I thought she sang very fine. She played the guitar well, and it was such, I thought plus like the Lea Thompson in the film was very cool looking as well. With like that big hairstyle that she has and the outfit she wore. And Howard is the new manager, and like Tim Robbins also helps with him with the band as well. It's like he wants him to pull his rope, and it's like, not that one, and he gets lifted up, and he gets dropped down to the center stage, and he plays the guitar, which also really I thought that Ed Gale actually he says he actually still has that guitar, and it's also said that on the features that. Ed Gale, he said like he still gets fan mail from him from Howard the Duck. It's whatever fan mail he gets, it's from regarding about Howard the Duck, which I thought was pretty cool. And he says he still has that guitar that he plays at the end. So yeah, the people still think if he still gets fan mail, so people still think that this film is not that bad. It's like, we like you and Howard the Duck and this and that, So obviously, some people still think this film is not as bad as people think it is, but as the credits, the song is still playing as the credits roll, which I said I still enjoy the song, and then you get to get one last I would still say hard moment, it's like not bad for a duck from outer space and. Just, you are great, Ducky. And then you get that a subtle part of the score, which I do like. So Howard the Duck, I don't think it's not one of the worst films of all time. No, it's definitely a lot. I would say it's definitely a lot better than some of the worst films. Definitely a lot better than some on the list of films of that worst film list. Of the films that's listed on the worst films of all time, I think it's a lot better than some of the films that's on it. Especially it's better than Batman Robin or Catwoman or some other ones like of today. Like one of them's Jack and Jill. Yeah, it's another Adam Sandler film. I think this film is a lot better for humor wise. But Howard the Duck, I enjoy this. I enjoy this movie a lot. I would say I'll probably say this. If people think it's one of the worst films of all time, I think it's one of the most underrated films on my list. If I ever had a list of one of the most underrated films of all time, for me on my list, definitely be on one of them. But I will say I'm one of the very few people that likes the film. Because right now the film still gets hated on by everybody. Everybody still hates the film. It still says it's one of the worst movies of all time. Yeah, my brother says he doesn't like the film. His friend says he doesn't like the film. Which, from what I remember, he hasn't watched the film fully, so he still hasn't watched all the way through though. But he still hates the movie. And also I do. Like a while back, if you see from on my wall here, I did have a poster of this film at one point. It's probably one of my videos from a while back. So I do have the poster of this film. But Howard the Duck, and plus this one is, I would say it's going on an hour. This is a film I would say is worth doing an hour-long review. It deserves it. Because I enjoyed the film. I don't think it's not as bad as everybody thinks he is. I thought the cast did a good job. I enjoyed the score by John Barry. And also the song choice, the songs by Thomas Dolby, I thought was good songs. I do enjoy the soundtrack, the score as well. Um, the humor, like some of like people think that, yeah, I understand why people hate the dumb ideas, but I don't think it's. But to me, I think some of the things of today are much more dumber and stupider than some of the stuff that's shown in this movie, especially for especially for the comedy films of lately, but of those type of humor, but yeah, people think of the duck tits and Lea Thompson trying to make out with a duck. Yeah, the type of, yeah, people thinking, oh, some other adult humor as well. But I don't think it's not as bad as everybody thinks it is. But that's just me though. I think it's. I thought like yeah, some of the things it's over the top some over the top acting, or some very. I would say the word cheesy most of the time. Some cheesy dialogue or acting or effects or effects that people would put it. But it's like with the special effects, I thought it was really well done. Like it's like a lot of practical, actual explosions. Yeah, some of the CG elements, like with the Dark Overlord's powers or whatever. It's not as bad. It's not the worst effects I've seen. Good car chase, the airplane / car chase. So they're being chased at. But I do like the features, and those, yeah, I would say deserves a special edition. I would say. And George Lucas says he wants nothing to do with the film, and I guess after this film, like Willard Huyck and Gloria Katz, I guess after this film was made, and I guess they never wanted to do anything ever again. I think after that, they sort of like disappeared. But I think that's people thought it would be a big hit because George Lucas's name is on it. Like it says at the top right there, George Lucas presents. They thought the film was going to be a hit because George Lucas' name was on it, but it was wrong. The film flopped and it earned Razzies, and I guess George Lucas was embarrassed by it. But I'm sorry, but George Lucas, I think his involvement with this film is better than probably say the Star Wars prequels, because I'm not a fan of those prequels. I'm not. But like I said, I like the cast, like the Chip Zane and Ed Gale and some of the other people that helped play as Howard the Duck. Gotta give credit to those people as well. But mostly it's Ed Gale's mostly done, and Chip Zane as a voice. That they all working, trying to make Howard the Duck work. I thought it was really well done. The suit I like. Yeah, people think that if I can speak again. Trying to slow down here because I'm talking too fast. Probably think people say that the duck suit is horrible looking. I think it's a well done duck suit. It's probably something that reminds me something that reminds me from Congo. People complain about the gorilla suits. I don't think they're not that bad looking. Same thing applies to this with the duck suit. And like I said, plus I'm a fan of this character. Just like I just showed him like my comic book collection of Howard the Duck. It's an obscure character. It's not everybody's cup of tea, for the Marvel comic books, but there's a lot of people say that. I say there's a lot of people that probably do like the character, and I'm one of them. I like the character, and I do like the movie. But regardless, a lot of people are not fans of the character, and people. Probably said 98% of the people hate the movie still. But, as like I said, it has gained a cult following for some comic book who are fans of the comics, and I'm one of them. And also that, and I will say I'm one of the few that enjoy this film, and like there's another guy on here, Mike, aka OCP Communications, which I do enjoy his reviews as well, and like long ago he also did like a long review of this film as well, actually. And he said he really highly enjoys this film as well. So, and I saw his review of that, and I liked it, and so I'm not the only one who does like this film a lot and think it's underrated. So yeah, it's a shout out. So it's a shout out to OCP Communications, and because I do also do like his reviews as well. And like a while back he says he enjoys the film a lot and he loves the movie, and so do I. But of course, there's probably other people that do like the film, like some other people do, but most of the time people just don't like the movie because how the way the film is, and I disagree with that. Like I said, this film is better than some of the films of today, but I think that especially for the humor and the ideas, I think they're not as dumb as silly like some of the films of today, especially in the comedy films. And it's better. I think some for comedies, I think it's better. Some of Adam Sandler's films of recent the past few years. Like some other dumb ideas that I think it's much. And that actually also really quick, yes. And it's kind of ironic how this came out August 1st, and Howard the Duck had an appearance after the end credits of Guardians of the Galaxy, which was also released on August 1st. So I found it kind of ironic how this film was released on August 1st, and Guardians of the Galaxy, with an appearance of Howard the Duck, was also released on August 1st. How ironic is that? Yeah, and I also did like the Howard the Duck cameo as well, and that was actually voiced by Seth Green. What do you let him lick you like that for? Gross. Talking to the collector. Except in that one, he was wearing the orange suit, which in the comics he was wearing an orange suit. So, actually, in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, I would like to see more of Howard the Duck. Really enough. But yeah. So like I said, this is only an over an hour review, so why not make it an over an hour review? Because it deserves it. Because I really enjoy this film, but most people don't think so. But this is why my title says my movie review, defend the film, and I am defending the film. So, but also people can disagree with me though, but it's my opinion though, and I enjoy the film. And if people don't like the film, that's fine. I'm not gonna criticize anybody for it though. Everyone has their own opinion though, but I'm respectful for that though. For other people's opinions, but in my opinion, I like this film. I'm one of the few people that do. So yeah, I will say I'm glad I will be defending this film. And maybe one day, maybe I'd like to get like a big poster of like from where him is just him smoking, like how the original poster was, is him the egg smoking a cigar. You know, one day I'd like to get him a big poster, like put it like that, shows how I defend the film. So, but yeah, Howard the Duck. I enjoy this film. Like I said, with the special effects, the soundtrack, and the scores, and the pacing. It's an over well, without the end credits, it's like about an hour 45 minutes. But it says it's 151 minutes. But without the end credits, like about an hour 45 minutes. And I thought also the pacing was pretty decent as well. And the acting, like I said, Jeffrey Jones, Tim Robbins, I thought they were doing a good job. Tim Robbins, I thought he was actually fun in the role. And Lea Thompson, I thought she was having fun in the role, especially, I thought she did pretty well, you know, singing with this band, Cherry Bomb. And the songs I do enjoy, the soundtracks, and her. I thought she could sing pretty well in the film. And plus, I thought she was very good looking in the film as well, so. But I thought she was having fun. I'm glad that she said that she did have fun with the film, unlike what Tim Robbins or George Lucas was in the film. How their feelings about the film though. But I thought Tim Robbins was fun, regardless of what he says. And Jeffrey Jones, yes, with the whole thing with how he is in real life though. But back then, Jeffrey Jones I thought was fun with playing this dark overlord and being possessed by the Dark Overlord. And like I said, the stop motion animation, how the look of the creature is. Like I said, actual good practical explosions and sparks, whatever, and Yeah, I know people. Yeah, I know all the I know all the problems. I know how people react to this film. I know. And yes, it has like a 4.6 IMDb, which surprisingly I thought was pretty high. I thought it'd be like about a 3 point something IMDb. And the film actually has a what is it on Rotten Tomatoes? 14%. Yeah, but I don't think it deserves the 14%. The 4.6, 4.6 is actually pretty high than I expected to be on IMDb. I thought it would be, like I said, a 3 point something. Like, be like where Batman and Robin is. Because Batman and Robin has a 3.7 IMDb, and I thought Howard the Duck would be much more around that range, but actually really enough. Yeah, it's funny that how this film has much more higher rating on IMDb and on Rotten Tomatoes than Batman and Robin does. Because Batman and Robin has a 11% of Rotten Tomatoes, and this is a 14%. Definitely a lot better than Batman and Robin, definitely tell you that. On humor and settings and characters alone, from this film compared to that of Batman and Robin. So yeah, I better end it here because my throat's getting a little bit dry here. So, but yeah, I'll better say my final words on here. But yeah, I'm glad I'm defending this film. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So I hope you enjoy this long review of Howard the Duck. And if anyone likes the film, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine as well. But there's still some people that do like this film, no matter how dumb, silly, or whatever how this film turns out. But to me, I enjoy the film. So yeah, for me, thumbs up for me. And I already said all my things of why I like the film. But anyway, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next movie review. And like I said, the reason why I chose because for this month of June for my birthday, I like to do movie reviews of films that I really do enjoy. This is one of them. So, yeah. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.